Okay, so this is part two of like my spiritual, what was I calling it? Just how my spirituality works, like how my intuition, my claircognizant, why is my charger not working? It is. Okay. So I took notes because I always forget things that I want to say. So I just want to say, first and foremost, everybody is different. Everybody is different, okay? So I'm saying this for me and for whoever benefits from this, but this is my process. This is how I work. That doesn't mean that's how other people do it. Everybody has their own thing. Like literally, we're all totally different. Okay. So when people say my guides say this, my guides say that, I don't that isn't that doesn't resonate with me because that's not how it works with me, okay? Because and I thought about this a lot cuz I was like, I have guides. I talk to my guides all the time. What is about when I hear someone say that doesn't resonate with the way that I do it? Um, I this is where I'm finally at with this. I believe that I'm here to develop my knowledge and my wisdom. And so I've always kind of felt like there's been like a spiritual coach with me my whole life. Like they're putting certain like tests ahead of me, like, okay, like they'll say, try to guess who's calling you right now before you look at your phone. Just if you know, try to guess who's calling you, or guessing things before I see it. That happens all the time. That's happened for years and years. Like I don't know. It's like my earliest memory is like this coach almost in my head, and it feels like a guide, like trying to get me to just like test my skills and my ability to have a knowing of something and be conscious of that. So if I have a situation where, and also I think I have claircognizance, which is the more I learn about that, the more I'm like, that's it. Because I just have a knowing of things. And it's kind of irritating because I wish I could be like, I heard at 3 o'clock today someone say, I wish I could say that. It's almost bratty to just be like, I know it. That's it. I know it. It's just, I don't know how, I just know it. But that's how it is. It's just, I know it. But I do feel like very specific to me has been ownership of the knowledge and the wisdom. Not ownership, because the knowledge and the wisdom is for everybody, and it's sort of like the collective conscious, collective unconscious. I never remember if it's conscious or unconscious, but we're all tapping in. We're all tapping into that field, and all the information is available to everyone. How you tap into that and how you receive that information, that is what's unique for each person. So for me, I feel like if I'm conveying a message, I always say it's from me. I don't, and I'm not saying the other way is wrong. I feel like that's what this is sounding like, and I do not want that. I just want, if somebody is out there, I always want to encourage people to develop their own spiritual gifts, especially now. Especially now, we have to develop our spiritual gifts and our ability to communicate with God, our guides, our ancestors, angels, everything, passed on loved ones and friends. So in order to do that, you might see somebody else saying they feel it in their body, or someone else might say, I see things, like they see images of people. Other people might hear things, or there's combinations of things. So I have combinations of things. But in terms of like my delivery, I don't say my guides say this, because I feel like the point for my life anyways is to develop my own knowing. And if I were to say, well, my guides say this, it's sort of defeating the purpose, because they're probably like, don't say that. Like, it's for you. And I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? Where I'm going with that? So they're like a coach. They're there for me. But if I'm always just telling you what they're saying, it's really, I see that more as being a medium. Like, and I've done that before. I've gotten messages for myself and for others from a person that has passed over. So that is different. Or I might get a message from a guide for a person. I have had that happen too. But in general, my spiritual wisdom or messages are mine. Like, they're not mine though. You know what I mean? They're the collective that I'm tapping into, but I own it. I like say like this is what I sense. This is the feeling I'm getting. These are the images that I have in my mind. And I personally think for me and maybe somebody else, that's an important distinction because it has to do with your, if that's what you're here for. Some other people are maybe here to just share their guides' information. But for me, it's really about standing behind what I feel and being able to read it correctly. So sometimes it's a body sensation. Sometimes it's just the knowing, like I said. Sometimes I hear something. I hear someone telling me words. It's like thoughts, but it's, not mine. So anyways, I feel like I'm making this all jumbly, but it's just very important that I make this distinction because I don't do it direct from the guides out usually. I would say 99% of the time I don't do that. Another reason why I don't do that is because some of the guidance I get, I need to sit with it. I need to sit with it hours, days, weeks, months. Like, it just depends. I'm not meant to just share it. I'm meant to marinate in it. I'm meant to, that's part of the development too. That's part of my development is I really go deep. I think about it. I feel like there's a coach sitting with me saying, what do you think about this? Or how does what you just got yesterday or that thing you dreamt about, how does that connect to this other thing happening to you? It's kind of like a teacher or coach sort of just going through stuff with me. And I like giving it time. I don't like having this ramp of like, I get a message and then I just share it with people. I don't like that. And I think maybe there's some people that might be, short circuiting going deeper with a message because sometimes the messages, they're meant, I think really all times, they're meant for us. They're meant for us to, not all people though. I have to keep saying that because it sounds like, but I'm talking to the people like me, that the messages are for us. They're for us to think about. They're for the guidance has come to us for us to mull things over and to add things up and to connect other things that weren't connected yet. And to develop our understanding of the world. That's why we came here. We're perfect in the spiritual world. We're perfect. We already know everything. We already connect to everything. We're one with love. My belief is we've come to this physical dimension to learn the lessons we want to learn, that you can only learn this specific set of lessons here, whatever those are. And so it's like a, menu list of things that you want to learn here. And so part of that is maybe like for me, developing a connection to the other side, but staying very grounded in the physical world and in my physical body. And so how do you like have both? How do you have a knowing and a connection to spiritual things, but then staying very connected to my body and to real life things that are going on here, like fear or like sadness and grief, anger, intense love, intense connection, like all the different emotions, but then staying grounded. Okay, so also, yeah, so I feel like sometimes I'm meant to mull over a guidance that I received, and also sometimes it's just meant for me. It's something that was just meant to, enrich me, not necessarily to go out to others. So that's why I don't share every single thing that I get. I mull over a lot of things. And so the past few days, I went completely, like almost completely silent, definitely silent online. I wasn't posting it. It wasn't going live. And I usually like to go live every day. And that was a very enriching time for me because I experienced the emotions that I've been feeling on a deeper level. And I just sat with that. And that is how you can avoid spiritual bypassing, which I'll talk about in another video coming up. So don't spiritually bypass. Make sure you're feeling your feelings, especially during this time. Allow yourself to feel the sadness, the anger, and the fear. Mostly for me, it's been what's hit me is sadness. But I'll get into that in my spiritual bypassing video. Hope this helps somebody.